Hello, watchers, runners, and gods of the time stream. Dodge the hodgepodge leg to your right. Dodge the hodgepodge arm to your left. Make sure the urn is safe in front of you, maybe? When that's done, grab a chair, conjure up a table, and join us to talk about all things the Dungeon Run. How are you, beautiful, beautiful people today? I already saw Hornerston chat say 15 seconds late. Please, I am here and on time. I'm super excited about today. We have, obviously we're going to talk about, I've been calling it the season finale of Act 1. Super exciting. With the council, we have CamTheFogPal, GorbinPlade, and joining us for the first time on the watch party, Numera is going to join us, so that's super, super exciting. Also, I did say we were going to have an interview with Scott today, one of our amazing illustrators, and he couldn't be here live because he works nights, so we have a pre-recorded interview that we're going to play, but it's really insightful. He's a really great guy. It was really fun. So we're going to be playing that during the interview section. And yes, Snake Master, I do arrive exactly when I need to. So before we bring on the council and just dive into this explosive episode, I've given my thought I've given my rating a lot of thought. I've given it a lot of objective viewing, subjective viewing. Can we just say at the top how amazing that model was and just how insane. Let's all give Jeff a round of applause for being able to wait that long before showing us that model and doing this part of the storyline. It's crazy. It was so beautiful. Yes, Mazakil, it was beautiful. There were times when we were watching where I thought that the model was still like the map room, but it wasn't, and it was mind-blowing. 10 out of 10 for that model, for Greg, for everyone else in the crew, for sure. I think my MVP for this week has to be Jeff. Not only was his storytelling beautiful, but Jeff's flawlessness from moving from one NPC to another in seconds, gorgeous. I love, one, his ability to do his voices, but also his facial expressions, his demeanor. He has a different personality for each character. Jeff, 10 out of 10, you are the MVP of the week for sure. So with that said, though, this episode did lose some points, small points for me when it came to some things about the battle. Did bum me out a little bit. But the hodgepodge was incredible. The warden herself was amazing. I even enjoyed the scenery. And again, we can dive into what good things were really. We're going to dive into the battle a little bit, I'm sure. But overall, I have to say my rating is a solid 8 out of 10 malls. 8 out of 10 malls. Mazakil says 20 out of 10 malls for Chef. The MVP, Chef Scott says the MVP is Amanda's nail polish. 10 out of 10 for Fimic. Yeah, I'm giving it, Snake Master said what? Only an 8. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10 malls, a solid 8 out of 10 malls. Yeah, confident, sticking to it. Everyone's surprised that I'm giving 8 out of 10 malls. Yep, pretty confident. That was my for sure solid rating. And like I said, we'll talk about it. I'm pretty sure we're going to get into the who's and the whys. And it was seriously an amazing, excellent episode. So before I just go into it, let's bring on the council and really just dive into the meat of this episode. So please join me, CamTheFogPal, GorbinPlade, and Numera. Oh, did he disappear? Did Kurt die? There he is.
Whew, I had to sprint all the way. Whew, I'm here.
You got it? You good?
Whew, I'm good. Sorry.
I'm sure you guys are just as excited as I am to really dive into this. We got to talk a little bit backstage about some stuff. I had to calm everybody down because we were getting into it before we were even on here, which is no surprise because the show is amazing. So I kind of thought in a weird way we would move backwards because I know everyone's must talk about topic that is Fahima and her choice. I know that that's the first thing everybody thinks of when they think of this episode, that finale, that final decision. So why don't we dive into it? I want your guys' thoughts, opinions, and feelings on the choice that Fahima made, didn't have to make, all of that good jazz. And yes, Numera, putting you on the spot, you are up.
She didn't have a choice. There was no choice. It was go or die. I mean, come on. There was no choice. The Ashen Mage said, so you say no, you and your friends die, period. So there was no choice for her. That was the only choice to make. So
I think that was a bluff.
Do you think so?
The or you die. I think that was a bluff. I don't think she had the power in that moment to kill them instantly or whatever.
Really?
I don't think so. I think that was a bluff. But if it was a bluff, if it wasn't a bluff, I agree though. There was only, I think, one correct decision for her to make.
Yeah.
Even though it killed her to make it.
Absolutely. I don't think that there was. I think she would allow herself to die, but to be the cause of. Sorry, my cat's going crazy.
What? Or not
now. But I don't think she could have lived with herself had she, been the cause of their deaths.
Or her father.
Or her father. Or Zanelka. Well, she made the decision.
Was totally a bluff, by the way. That was a bluff.
Interesting.
Is Amanda in the map room, like, controlling your cat, doing flips?
I don't know. He's old. He's a little crazy.
Okay.
So no Spencer's boat in chat said if she can freeze time or freeze people with a snap of her fingers, what else can she do? I'm gonna challenge that thought and say I don't think it was a bluff in terms of if she wanted to end them all, she could 10 seconds flat. However, what I might entertain the idea of being a bluff is the fact that she would kill Fahima. If anything, she might kill the rest and still use Fahima. There's nothing stopping her from still using her blood and all of that. I don't think she had any intention of killing Fahima. But, I mean, I definitely 100% think she has all the power in the world to do anything to that party given that moment.
I'm reminded of the movie Devil's Advocate with Keanu Reeves and Al Pacino. I don't know, not many people may have seen it anyway, but I don't want to spoil it, but that was you give me a no-win option, I choose to off myself kind of thing. I could have seen that as an option too, but I mean, self-preservation, kicked in, so that's I guess that's good.
I mean, the whole reason that she.
Go ahead,
the
Cam.
whole reason that she left was that her dad. I'm sorry, Cam.
No, it's okay. I was going to say I don't know if it was as much self-preservation as preserving her friends, and I think even she was doubting that, or else she would have made the decision sooner. But when she saw her dad, that's the moment when she decided she couldn't. I mean, she could have risked herself. She might have been considering risking the rest of the party, but not her dad. That's like her world, basically. And also, I agree that the Ashen Mage clearly overpowers them by by far, I think she could have killed them if she wanted to. I saw a lot of people saying things on the Discord and such as, but Fahima might be stronger than her, and she might one day grow to be stronger, but for now they're way below the Ashen Mage. I don't think they had a chance against her.
Agreed. And I think that Calcutta sees that. I mean, she's been very open. Fahima, you're special. Like she's aware of Fahima's potential power, and she's like, yeah, of course I want that on my side. Of course. Like, why would I want that potential power against me? She knows and she's seen what Fahima can do.
She was called the Key again, this time by the Ashen Mage. When Ertenfurt could not adequately clone her, which to me that could be explained by, well, she was made out of a wish, so maybe Ertenfurt doesn't have wish power or whatever. Like, I mean, how can he clone that? So, yeah, but that was the second time she was called the Key, and perhaps that was a callback to the hag calling her the Key. Maybe that completes that loop. Maybe there's more to her being a Key. Just anyway, throwing that out there.
It's pineapple time, guys.
Hey, that pineapple is old and buried. Come on. Anyway, no. Leading to
it.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I think that, I think this council, the four of us, 100% agree in the moment. Now, to clarify, because I think, again, the four of us are in very much agreement, because there were a lot of people in the community who were saying, nah, Fahima made the wrong choice, etc. I do want to make it clear, at least for the council standpoint, she did technically have a choice. I think Jeff was perfectly prepared to continue the story as if she did say no. I think that was an option for her technically. But we all agree, at least the four of us, that in that moment, Fahima as a character against the wall, the Ashen Mage pulled out all the stops, and there was nothing she could have realistically done in that moment other than just say, yeah, spare everybody that I know and love.
Yeah. And for me, I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I got a little up in my feels when Jessica was just killing it as the anguished Fahima. I talked about it a little bit backstage, but that, Fahima, look at me from Lily, and she goes, I can't. And it's just like
so
the
good.
guilt. The guilt just heaped on that decision already. It's heaping spoonfuls of guilt already, but she knew that was the only choice she could make at that time. And frankly, I'm a little worried about. We'll talk about this. We'll talk about it later, I think. But I'm worried for maybe Fahima's moral center a little.
Yes, I 100% agree. I cannot stress enough how, again, I know everybody loves when I use this phrase, the whole cast and Jeff are just barfing up gold in that scene, because I loved that, and we will elaborate more a little bit on it, but the tension between the party, Ugo sitting there and his little grunts, when the Ashen Mage was saying, join me. And then James was sitting there like, she kills everybody. She'll hurt your family. She'll do this. And it was honestly a genuine, almost as if Fahima's in her head and she has Ashen Mage over here, the party over here. I feel bad for her. And Jessica, the Raven Queen, 3 other people, a lot of people in chat are saying that like Jessica owned that scene, and JLP did. She was in it, and I loved her. She's like, I can't look at you, because I think it was that moment she knew what decision she was going to make.
Yeah.
It was heartbreaking. And she even went from Zanelka, which, by the way, hi Zanelka. Now we know where you've been this whole time. It was perfect. I love how at first she started off by saying, I can't go with you. I'll hurt people. I can't do that. And then knowing her back was against the wall, she shifted her perspective almost as a coping mechanism to say, no, guys, now I need to do this. I have to help you. It was almost as if she was trying to cope with that decision she was about to make for herself. Oh,
yeah.
Poor JLP.
Yeah.
Poor Vahima.
She could have had a better day.
Easy.
Yeah.
So with that said, I do wanna we're going backwards. So I want us to take one more step backwards before the choice and talk about Vic's speech and Vic's role to play in all of this in general. And your turn on the spot, Cam, go.
First, I think she made some really good points. Like, we all know they were making monsters out of dead bodies and all of that, and that's not like reasonable, but
Not reasonable.
Not at all.
reasonable. But her point about the wardens being the ones who erased the whole world memory being something bad, like why did they have to choose for everyone else, is similar to the discussion about why the party need to be the one who destroy this piece of valuable information. So I think her speech makes sense, and I felt so bad for her because she was clearly being misguided, and the Ashen Mage was taking advantage of the terrible past she had. And I want to say that a few people, including me, say that Vic was clearly like worrying about Siv in that whole situation, and a lot of other people claimed she was setting a trap. And I mean, that could have been the case, but the way Chef portrays her, like the pain in the way she speaks and the way she looks at Siv, is like, for me, that's really telling of her backstory. For what we know, that she basically took care of Siv all their lives, and I think, I don't want her to be dead, but if she died, that was a beautiful way for her to go, like sacrificing herself for him and looking at him and trying to help him on the last second. I made you cry. Did I make you cry?
Not yet.
Okay.
Angel Devilson in chat said that Vic was blinded by her power, but also blinded by her love for Siv. Okay, so
I don't know if it was her power. I think it was like wanted to get out of that horrible place she was always. And people on Oswatch always like look it down on people like Siv and Big. It's what we know. So having someone come to you and say you are the greatest, one of the greatest minds of this world, and you can do something. I mean, that's like, I definitely can see why she joined her.
100% jumping off of that. And Kai Buck in chat says, not power, survival, and fear. 100%. We've known, it's been very well established that Vic and Siv, back in Ulchbotch, that is all it is about. It is about survival. It is about fighting for your lives. They started at a very young age, needing to do whatever they could to get a piece of bread. They've stolen, they've thefted, they've killed, they've done everything they can. They've seen it all. And I don't think it had anything to do with power. I think for Vic, I think Vic, honest to gosh, thought that the Ashen Mage is here to rule all.
Yeah, she's the winning side. I want to be on the winning side.
Yes,
that is my survival.
100%.
And I mean, the Ashen Mage clearly was using Vic as her fetch person. I don't know, Aaron, but whatever, someone to steal things. Like, because she clearly didn't have the Ashen Mage, although all powerful as you guys say that she is. was not able to do a lot of the things without Vic doing them. You know, I think it's probably a load of crap that that the Ashen Mage was feeding Vic on. You're the best such and such. What did she say? Artist. Or something? Okay, that's. I mean, I agree with the survival instinct got her there. I think she was using that survival instinct. I think that might have been transformed into just being brainwashed by the Ashen Mage near the end, and Civ kind of snapped her out of it.
I don't think it's brainwashing per se, and this is where I could be wrong. This is clearly just my thoughts. I think Vic knew exactly what she was doing the whole time. I don't think it was brainwashed. She knows what the Ashen Mage wants.
I don't mean brainwashed. I don't mean brainwashed like she had no agency in the thing. I mean she brainwashed herself. She was rationalizing.
Right, but even then, she knew the Ashen Mage. It wasn't about friendship. She knew it was about who could do the most for her and who could show themselves they were useful for her. And that's why Vic took that approach.
Even in her speech, though, she's like, "Oh, we can steal back this thing that you think Vic actually cares about this knowledge was stolen, quote unquote stolen? I don't think so."
Yes, I think that was. Vic was saying what Calcutta Theed wanted to hear. I don't think Vic cared about anything she said. I think that was her. This is Calcutta's speech. This is Calcutta's rant. I think that was all what Calcutta wanted to hear. I don't even think Civ snapped her out of it. I think when Vic noticed her play of trying to convince Calcutta that Civ was useful wasn't working, she chose Civ over Calcutta. And that right there, right in the feels. I think
to me that means that Civ snapped her out of it. But semantics, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I love that scene. To me, I could definitely see how maybe Vic was saying those things because they were fed to her by the Ashen Mage, because that argument, by the way, is why I think Fahima might be a little bit morally conflicted here, because she is the one of the party that loves knowledge, gimme knowledge. And here, you know, this, I mean, I had been under the assumption that the war of ideas that the people who were backing the Wardens were the ones who were trying to preserve ideas, and the bad people were destroying things, right? And maybe that's still the case. It could be, you know, a propaganda, a fiction that is invented. But if it's true that the Wardens and everyone else were put there to destroy, you know, the knowledge of some super weapon that might annihilate the Earth, yeah, I could see how someone would kind of be like, hold on a second, we're going to destroy everything, all of our knowledge? And to me, I think Fahima would not like that. So that's why I think she might be in a little bit dangerous territory.
Still, when the Ashen Mage was trying to convince Fahima to join her, the first thing she offered was knowledge, and Fahima rejected that immediately. Like, it was like the first step. It was below Senalga on her list of priorities. So, I mean, I think she, especially being young, and I say that since I'm like about her age, she can be easily like misguided by or manipulated by the Ashen Mage now, but I don't think knowledge is playing such a big part right now.
I guess, yeah, that's true. I agree with that. But it's on a long-term basis. If Vic can be quote unquote brainwashed, that's my opinion, that she was kind of she was drinking some of the Kool-Aid. If Vic can do that, then Fahima certainly, as an impressionable, I mean, Vic isn't that much older, or maybe they're even the same age, could do the same playbook. Is Vic older? I mean, because she's around this. I don't know how old Vic is to Civ, but Civ and Fahima are about the same.
So
anyway, so
Civ is older than Fahima, and Vic is older than Civ.
Okay.
Yes.
So they're in the same within 3 or 4 years of each other then. Vic and Fahima.
Sure. We'll go.
Because
with
Vic
it.
is like 19 or something, 19 or 20.
No, Vic is like.
No, I'm sorry. Civ is 19 or 20.
Civ is 22. I don't know.
Anyway,
it doesn't
age
matter.
is just a number. Age is just a number.
Yeah, Civ is 22 according to chat.
Yeah, so like 5 years difference between Fahima and not much difference.
No, not much. And I don't think you're wrong. I think given the right amount of misguiding, I do think Fahima can be persuaded. One of my favorite lines of this episode was necromancy and blood work. You said no, thank you. And I think she can convince her that power is what she's looking for. Whether it be power to heal your friends, whether it be power to do good. Look at what my book has done for you. And I think that is going to probably be her best sales pitch to getting her to at least see that different perspective. And, I can't wait. I think Fahima has a long, confusing road ahead of her. For sure.
And I look forward to Jessica just killing it like she did last episode, because it was very awesome to to have that such high stakes. Yeah, oof, good deal.
Yeah. Any final thoughts on Fahima and her situation? Because I have another topic that I want to run by you guys. Final thoughts on Fahima. She's awesome, and she had to do what she had to do. That's what this council has decided.
That's the ruling.
That is our ruling. I wanted to bring up very briefly, I really enjoyed James's quick thinking, his quick work. He was trying his best to do something, anything. I thought it was very cool that he tried to use the ring to blow up basically in her face with his thunderstep. I thought that was awesome. I think even trying, like we talked a little bit about him trying to get into Fahima's mind, hey, remember what she's done. Remember who she's killed. Like, I loved that. He was trying so hard. Good for him. James is always thinking. And I think that's one of his big assets, whether he could realistically help out or not. But what did confuse me, what did make me go, huh?
I know what you're going to say.
Was his sending to Chomel was a little confusing for me. Because...
All right, Jess, lay it out for me.
Yes.
Lay it out. I'm waiting.
He started off fantastic. He started off with, your parents wouldn't want this. Your parents didn't die for this. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm here, I'm there. He even says, Uggo the Brave wouldn't want this. There's the key word. There's what we're looking for. And I'm like, I'm into it. He's convincing me. But then he says, these things are a poor excuse for the power you deserve. He says, this isn't the title that you deserve. And that's where I went, huh? Because what are you talking about? He literally just got named one of the best minds, one of the best leaders of all time. What kind of better title do you want? It was almost like he just switched to, no, you want power. This just isn't what you want. And I'm thinking, if power is his plan, he's in a pretty good title spot. I don't know. I thought that ending of the sending was confusing.
I can see why you thought that, but also I think the thing with a greatest leader is that he should have people to lead. If you're leading hodgepodges and all of that, you're not actually leading anyone. You're not a great leader. You're just there. If people don't recognize you, if you're one of the evil guys, people will probably not recognize you as someone as big. So I can see why he did that, because his whole thing was like he was meant to be on the throne and all of that. I got kind of, I don't know if that was the best choice, because it could play for them or against them if Yanmo Chomel decides to be like separate from the Asian Maid, but still a big threat. I mean, it was like, come with us, go in your own way. Like, it could be a problem in the future, I think. But I don't question it, because it was like a really hard situation in which you have to think really quickly, and I think he exploited his wishes.
Yeah, I agree with Cam that I can definitely see, Jessica, how you could arrive at that wrong conclusion. It is, but there is no question in my mind, at least, that Cam is 100% right on the what has. He was named. He was named by this one person. Oh, you're a super powerful leader. Oh, really? What land do you rule? Who follows you? These masses of dead bodies? No, thank you. No, I mean, no. And I don't think he wants to be a puppet leader. I mean, we all. I mean, that was who was the one leading that motley crew there? It was the Ashen Mage, not Chomel, not Yanmo. So no, I think James was totally on point doing that, and he was appealing to his ego. You're a super big leader, but you're going to want to lead something a little bit better than this, and that was what he was doing.
Yes, Lily Dumblestuck fan in chat says Yanmo may not want to lead; he may want the power to exact his revenge. I'm not disagreeing with what overall. I understand where James was coming from, but for the record, I get that. But I agree in that 10 seconds. How do I get this guy's mind to shift? He went straight to power. I mean, James's exact words were, "This isn't the power. This is the title you want." In theory, he is now. It's almost like a mock, I am the leader now. You guys disgrace me. It is. Remember his whole thing in his sending, right? He was saying, I'm going to get revenge. This whole thing. Remember we talked about it. You were on it. The 5-year-old who was like, how dare they? How dare they? It seems like this might theoretically right now be exactly what Yanmo wants. He just might want everybody to taste a little bit of what he can do and what his power is. But I loved how he went at the beginning to the, no, this isn't what your parents would want. This isn't what Ugly Brave would want. It just felt like in that one sending, there were two different messages. It was, whoa, this isn't what your family would want, and hey, you should be ruler. You should do that. Just, not with these guys.
But his family did want him ruler, though, right? His father did. I don't know what his mother. She was a psycho by the time we met her, but.
That's a good diagnosis.
Yeah. But the father was like, no, he should totally be the guy. And so, to me, I think those absolutely led to the same thing. It's your father honorably thought you should be the leader. Ugo honorably, taught you how to be this, this fighter or whatever. I don't know what he did, but he gave him this maul thing. So that's cool.
Crustacean hammer.
Yeah, crustacean. Well, it was a maul. It's a maul for a 5-year-old.
That's true.
So kind of that same trajectory is you should be this honorable leader, not this leader of, throbbing pustules.
I don't remember the word honorable being in that speech or that.
No, I know, but I think you're right. That was a rhetorical flourish, and I apologize. Mm-hmm. But yes, it's.
Now, I do want to point out, I think James got a 23, 26.
21.
I think
it was a 21 persuasion.
Thank you for that. I think that it was very clear that his message got to him, and he is now contemplating. I think Jeff articulated that very clear. I was just saying I thought it was just a little... If I was Yanmo and my understanding of Yanmo, that sending would have been very confusing.
It was an awakened mind, but yes. So yeah, there are a lot of different ways that you're wrong, and this is one of them. I'm
I
feisty
don't know
tonight.
if you've seen. Yeah, I could tell. I don't know if you've seen chat, but they've been enjoying your sass. See, I was trying to tone down the sass. You're trying to pick it up. See how it is, Kurt.
It's all about balance.
Yeah, balance. It is all about balance.
We balance. Yeah.
We do. No, I love you, Kurt. No, I overall, I really appreciate James trying. I do. I just thought, I thought it was interesting. I'm positive there will be a follow-up actual sending. I'm sure there will be. Do you think well, you mean to to Jan Mo or to Conroy? Probably Conroy first.
Do you think that's enough? Him studying his face and a vision. You think that'll be enough to be familiar with him to be sending? Well, we'll see. It's DM rules. So
I was gonna say, that's a Jeff question.
Yeah.
I don't know. Numera.
Yes, dear.
Thoughts on anything that Kurt has rudely said?
I don't think it was rude.
I'm kidding. He knows I love him.
I can see your point on the going in the weird direction, but I can see Kurt's point too.
It was Cam's point, actually. Yeah.
Cam's point. Sorry.
Hey, credit where it's due.
So yeah, I can see both.
So you are the balance that we seek to attain. Is what we're saying.
Sorry.
No, that's awesome. I love the cap.
Jessica Lynn Parsons says, I love everybody here but GorbinPlade. I love you too, JLP. I love you too. And okay, lastly, on my
You didn't hear the first part, apparently, where I was singing her praises.
Nope. I wanna point out something Cam wonderfully said, which is, it's just so funny that we actually talked about it on the watch party last week about how I was the one who said that why would they want to destroy this information? And in a way, that was almost what Vic/Calcutta's whole speech was about. Is it's like, these people chose for everyone what is right and what to do. These people, and I called James out on it a little bit, how of course James was like, I have this information now, let's destroy it. He wasn't the only one, but it was like, who were you guys? So I personally was very intrigued with Calcutta's point. And who said it has to be the strong? Why not the wisest, the most cunning, and the most clever? Why is it just these Ariat age heroes that deserve all of the rights? I don't know. I'm pretty sure Team Calcutta has a point, and we'll see. I don't know. It's true though. No one should play God.
That's why I'm fearful of. I mean, I mentioned it. That's why I'm fearful of what Fahima might, how her point of view might evolve under her tutelage.
No, I love it. I honestly, I'm so Team Ertenfurt. I'm signing myself up to be Ertenfurt's apprentice. Okay.
You're a Turtenfurt.
He even said the most potent power of Ein should be in the hands of the greatest minds. I agree. Mind over strength. Let's go. Science for the win. Okay. Anyone have any final thoughts? Any final points? Any final topics? Go. Dadpool says fail is a waffle first. Love it. So yeah, any final thoughts, questions, comments, or concerns?
About everything regarding this episode?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we didn't get to talk about the first fight. We're going like backwards on time, so we say the model was great. I think the giant hodgepodge was great. I was a little bit disappointed by some things, even though I loved the episode. I was hoping to
Kurt and
see
I are like,
react to the hodgepodge, since I get distracted if you all laugh.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Gosh, Kurt.
Yeah,
get with it.
I'm leaning in. I'm leaning in.
We saw the week before her noticing the bubbles and being super conflicted about that, because that's where the body parts of people she knew were. And I thought we will see something about that. And I know the episode had a lot of things happening, so maybe there wasn't as much time, but I really wanted to see her react differently, like pay more attention to the fact that this giant monster was throwing people she knew, probably.
Was bits of her people. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I second you. I second you. I agree with you. And Lily / Katie set it up. I mean, like you said, last week, she set the tone of how she was emotionally feeling. These are not hodgepodges. These are not the undead. These are people.
But she had Ferdinand stuffed pieces of her people inside of a.
Yes,
yeah,
and
so,
that's
yeah.
what
it was
seemed weird
yeah.
to me. So
yeah, it was a little discordant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and like I know, and I acknowledge and I'm aware that is Lily's character. She doesn't know how to fully embrace those emotions. But it does get to a point, and I know I've said this before for myself, where Lily, like, girl, it's okay, let it out. What's going on? What are you feeling? And I too am hoping maybe even this next episode we'll get some raw Lily emotion. We'll get to see what is she really thinking or feeling, because we're at a point where now, all right, I don't know what you're thinking and feeling at this point. Is it affecting you? Is it not? Are you avoiding? It'll be very interesting to see where Lily goes from here.
That's
Numera.
true.
Yeah.
But just a thought on that, if she didn't actually see something she recognized as being her people, maybe had she seen, maybe it had one of the globs.
Yeah, there's a teal vest on one of these torsos.
Right. Maybe had there been something more recognizable or like detailed, again, a vest or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally possible that those body parts came from other parts of the world as well.
I don't think it would matter.
It's possible.
Because when Lily made the comment, there was no one in front of her. She didn't even necessarily at the end, she said, say, these are my people. But at the end, she said, these are people. She made a very overall point. And even at that time, when she made the statement, there weren't any dead bodies or hodgepodges. It was just the thought. It was literally the recognizing that these were once people. And she made a stance on that. So whether they were people from Bingle or not, to me,
but they weren't trying to kill her either.
They weren't?
Not when she made that comment, because there were not any around. But then, so when she comes face to face with, something that's going to try to kill her, maybe she had a different idea.
Who knows?
Yeah,
Hopefully...
I get that. I mean, I don't say she should have been Hamlet situation, like, no, don't hurt the hodgepodge because these are people, but nothing. Just like I was expecting to see that, and I hope we can see it sometime. I don't know, next episode.
Any episode now, she's going to show an emotion. Any day now.
Besides being happy?
Yeah. She's going to show a real gnomish, not human, I guess, gnomish emotion.
Lily Dumblestuck fan said, let's not forget Lily ordered Bernadette to use the body parts. Yeah.
Yeah, she did. That's what I said, yeah.
And then there's a lot of people saying a lot of different stuff in chat.
Anyway, so
Okay.
my final thought is I want to take it back to the fight as well and say, echo you, Jess, I got the feel. I had the feels a couple of times this episode, and the first feels was seeing a model again. I missed the studio. I know that's a stupid thing to say because everyone misses it, but it was very refreshing to see that. Amanda's hand modeling was killing it. I'd give that a 10 out of 10 as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was for me. That was that got me through that fight because the fight was brief because of all the nat 20s that they were just rolling like hotcakes, and so.
And re-rolling.
I don't know if brief is the word. It was a 3-hour battle, but
Well,
sure.
it was. I mean,
You're wrong.
it was
sir.
only brief. It was only
But it
brief because
wasn't,
they
like,
couldn't make
challenging.
up their mind. I mean, it wasn't the last Warden fight a 2-day fight. I forget.
Not in D&D time.
Well, I mean, in episodes time. Well, whatever. You just want me to be wrong on this stream just once.
I'm returning your sass, my friend. Returning the sass.
Bring it.
Numera, final thoughts, comments, questions, or concerns?
The stupid urn. And what was that all about?
Pineapple time.
Yeah, pineapple time.
I know, but still, it went kaboom.
Yes, that was an exploding pineapple.
You know, wow. And I don't know, if we want to take it a step back even further, the very beginning of the episode, I don't even, sloppy goat, sorry.
It's short up.
Thank you.
I was channeling James.
And, you know, I'll go chasing James into the hunger of Hadar, you know, and just that whole scene in itself was a very interesting thing.
I agree. Well, I mean, and I don't know if we touched on it, but the fact that Ugo and James, blood brothers as they are, also might have a backstory intertwining potentially with Ugo being like, hey, there's this cave in Thorn called Underfury, and I totes know that guy. That could be pretty cool. Pineapple time on that one though too.
Pineapple time, folks.
Well, the interesting thing about that though is the link that Jeff puts in the story for, you know, you've got James from Turles and you have Ugo from Thorn, where they could have some of that. So the world is connected too, not just these two characters, but the entire world of Ein is connected. Mm-hmm. And it just...
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say I like the way Jeff doesn't make like orcs have these gods, humans have these gods. It's like there are these gods and people see them differently and they have different names for them. That's like a thing I really like about his
that's true.
world building.
I agree to everything all of you just said. I'm so glad. I'm so happy that, personally, I'm happy that James got his individual scene. I know me and a few other people in the live chat, as soon as Ugo jumped in there, I respect it. I love it as his brother. Don't misunderstand me. But man, we've been waiting for that one-on-one scene for so long. And I was just like, how could you? Yeah. Cam and I were very much on the same page.
Those two.
And it was just like, oh no, what if he just ruined his shot to talk to him one-on-one? And we freaked out. We were both very happy with how it turned out. And then we learned more information about Ugo. I think it was a win-win-win. I'm fine with him talking to Shothragat in the future, but I'm really glad that James got his one-on-one this time. Yeah.
Well, one last thing. I also am kind of sad that chat didn't get to see Jessica's awesome dress.
I know.
Show it.
Show it. Do it.
Show it off.
Do the spin.
episode. It's my Halloween dress. Hey, hey.
There you
It does
go.
look great and hands.
What
Yeah.
is this episode? I don't even
Okay,
know.
sorry. That's
We are nuts today, guys. It's been a whole hour. I couldn't contain your guys' thoughts and opinions for 30 minutes if I tried, I don't think. I think this is also what happens when you get Kurt and I in the same room.
that is the truth. Now I know why I'm not on as often as editing videos and taking up your time.
Yeah, we're nuts. I have a dress. I matched my nails. They saw it backstage. Thank you for that, Kurt. It was important to me. Halloween is great. With that said, my final overall thoughts is Earnford is the greatest scientist and one of the greatest minds of all time. Can't wait.
You and the bad boys.
I can't wait to see more of him. It's going to be awesome. Stay tuned. So now that we have officially taken up an entire hour doing the council part, please enjoy an amazing interview that I did do with the amazing illustrator Scott. Keep in mind a real funny quick fact, when him and I did this interview, he did not see the latest episode. So all of his comments and all of his speculations happened after the episode, but he was not live. So that's a fun little tidbit to know beforehand. Everybody, I know it's late. Whatever. We're enjoying the best show of all time.
Stay tuned for some Inktober stuff in that interview also.
Yes.
Some
And with
Inktober
that
art.
said, please enjoy the Watchers interview with the Watcher segment. Bye.
Bye.
Yay! I appreciate you immensely for taking the time out of your day and your busy schedule to come and talk to me. It's really appreciated.
No problem.
It's really awesome. So obviously, I know I and a lot of people have been curious because your art and you have a very brilliant mind and you're very artistic and you're awesomely talented.
Thank you.
So I was hoping you would kind of give us a little inside scoop on what drew you to art and what's your story?
Well, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, I've been always drawn. I've always drawn ever since a child, whether it was dinosaurs or making up superhero figures. Flash forward, high school, took a lot of art classes. Flash forward a little more to, ironically enough, comic books. In the early 90s, Jim Lee did his X-Men series, and the anatomy was so wonderful. And that really inspired me to pursue it, and as well as go into a specific direction. So I do a lot of realism and a lot of figure drawings, and I studied a little bit. I studied a lot of that. I did a lot of studying on my own. Flash forward a little more. I lived in Atlanta for a little bit and had a bunch of shows, gallery shows. I still do that from now and then. My stuff is a little more, like I said, a little more figurative, a little more portraiture. Every so often I'll dabble in pop culture. And I've really enjoyed doing pieces for this show. It's been a nice change of what I normally do. And I'm having a great time doing it, and I'm hoping to get more people involved in that way.
Well, if that is your goal, you're doing an amazing job with it by really kind of throwing in a nice way Inktober out there. I think it's really blown up, and I think a lot of us who may not even be the most artistic have just really loved it, and we've all kind of been gathering together for it, and that's so great. Is that why you came up with the idea for it?
Well, it started when I don't remember what episode it was where they got the tattoos. And Jeff's character was like, "Oh, I learned my skill at the Artisan Guild in Sinzin." And so I was like, "Oh, really?" So I messaged JD and we talked about it for a little bit, and I said, why not have a guild on the Discord where we can help people and, answer questions or have, whatever our knowledge can do. So everybody agreed that we could do that. So we did that. And then I was like, well, October's coming up. This is something that artists do every October. stresses us all out. It's okay. It does. But we do it. We have fun. And I figured I'd make a Dungeon Run calendar to have fun with.
And I remember when I reached out and I was like, so what is, I was super into it. And unfortunately, I'm a few days behind because, like you said, it stresses us all out. But in a good way, It gives us something to look forward to and something to all look around. But I remember I was like, what's relation situation? And you were just kind of like, it's whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, there's so many ways to go with that. Relatives, it could be everybody, all the characters have relatives, and some of the characters have love interests. And
well, I was going to ask you, because I know you said that you really enjoyed doing art for this community. What was your first art piece for the Dungeon Run? Was it the Whitebeard?
Say that again?
Was it the Whitebeard?
No, my first art piece was June of last year, after the show had just started.
Really?
I did character portraits of each character, and the cast actually has those portraits.
That's fascinating. So you've been watching the show since the very beginning?
Since the very beginning.
I didn't know that.
Yep, the very beginning, yep.
So where have you been?
Well, that's exactly what happened. It was like, JD was like, why don't you join the Discord? I'm like, okay, let's do that. So, and then it just snowballed from there. So, yeah.
Okay, so at least I caught you at the time you joined the Discord.
Yes.
So I think that was when I wrongfully assumed you were didn't just start watching, but yeah, I didn't know you'd watched since day one.
From the beginning, day one.
So were you in the first live chat or?
No, I never get to see the show live. I actually work a part-time job. So, and it's always Wednesday night and I never get to see it. And plus they're on West Coast time. So it's like, by the time it's like,
Get it. West Coast is best coast, but I get it. I do. Okay. So, I hope you're happy that you joined because you've already caused such a huge positive impact in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I love it. I think it's great. It's actually helping me be more patient and more compassionate when it comes to helping others learn.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I can be cranky sometimes. Everybody who knows me knows that. In some instances, I have zero patience, but for the community, I have a 10 patience.
Aww.
So.
No, I really loved your Illustrated Guild when you suggested it because I think there are a lot of us who want to be involved in the art and creativeness, but I mean, have you saw my stick figures?
Well, that was the whole point of this, and I think I said it on the Discord, was it doesn't have to be a drawing. It could be anything, and we are getting anything. We're getting a whole bunch of different kinds of things, and I think that's the point of it, is to not necessarily be pressured into drawing. We all can't be the illustrators of doing all this, but we can do other things.
Like a t-shirt.
Like stick figures. Out of real sticks.
Okay. You know what? Because of that, my next one, I promise, I will freaking go outside and I will get sticks for you. It's going to happen. I will get sticks for you. So I'm glad. Good job to Jason for convincing you to join. And I actually remember you saying that. You're like, yeah, Jason told me to join. And
yeah, he's like, okay, join, but turn off the notifications.
Yeah, you have to. We're too wild and crazy. But no, seriously, I want you to know you've had like a legitimately amazing positive impact, and just in sparking interest, sparking creative art, just getting involved. Like, honestly, thank you. I think it's been a very awesome thing, and you're amazing. I'm glad. So I have to ask though, what is your favorite piece of Dungeon Run art that you've done, if you have one?
I think, and this is not because of you, I think the Whitebeard that I've done, and then the Civ that I did just recently.
He has not been coached, guys. Honest thoughts. I loved your Whitebeard. Oh my god! It is
good. He doesn't have hair.
I know. Did you caught my comment?
Does he look familiar?
Oh, Oh, you're saying that you love and embody Whitebeard is basically what I caught that from.
Maybe. And then the Civ. I think the Civ is, I don't know why, I just love the Civ.
I love your Civ. I think that it really shows his stabby side.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think, again, I'm not just saying this, I think those are my two favorite of yours, obviously. Now, hair or no hair, I'm a little biased in that respect. But I will say I love how the beard, it's just like, it really captures.
It grew. It grew, so I had to put it on another sheet of paper.
It's what it happens, you know? He doesn't like to tame that thing. No, that's really great. What has been the hardest piece of art for you to do?
I think the hardest piece, for some reason, and this is going to sound terrible, for some reason, drawing James blocks me for some reason. Ooh. And I don't know why.
You don't even have a clue? Like you go to put pen to pick up whatever you do. I'm not going to pretend I know art.
I don't know what I'm doing.
It's just, you're just like, all of a sudden.
And please, Morgan, don't get mad. It's hard to draw James. I don't know why, which probably leads me to believe I should draw him more often.
Is it because maybe, now we're theorizing here. Is it because you don't have like a clear image of what he looks like in your mind to you?
Maybe. It's maybe. Yeah.
Because even for me, like, and I think this is fair, and Morgan has acknowledged this, that especially throughout time and after the Halloween episode, Morgan and James have definitely in times come together. So I think a lot of people, when they picture James, they picture Morgan. But James has long hair, actually.
Does he? I don't know this.
If you look at the very, very first, what is it called? Character sheet? Because they've showed their first level character sheet. He has long hair, and James's little icon every time in the show, it's the hair down the. That is
true, but does he have glasses? I mean, I know in the picture he has glasses, but they never acknowledge the glasses on the show. So does he have them? Does he not have? I have no idea.
Yes, he does have them, and you're right. They don't acknowledge it on the show.
Because even the second to last episode, Jeff is like his eyes roll back and they're white. I'm like, okay, are there glasses there?
And not to mention the whole metal thing when Fahima lost her glasses with James. It was just.
That's what I'm saying. You're right. I don't have a clear vision of what James looks like.
You're welcome. I'm glad I could help you figure it out.
This is not my fault. So
it's not your fault. You're welcome. See, I help you. You help me. Help me to help you. We're a team. That's right. We're a team. So who's the easiest to draw?
I'll go.
And why?
Because it's like the big hulking muscle bound. That's easy for me to draw. Always easy for me to draw. I love drawing, like the Hulk or any kind of large. Yeah.
Okay. So you are a D&D player.
I am.
Okay. And how long have you been playing D&D?
Shortly after I watched the first episode of the Dungeon Run, and I'm not lying. Let me tell you what happened. I'm going to tell you what happened. We went to visit. I live in Miami, and my parents and my family live in upstate New York. We went to visit my family, and my older sister said, "Guess what I'm doing?" And I said, "What?" She's like, "I'm playing D&D." I said, "You're out of your mind." What? Now, I remember back in the early 80s, D&D and all that other stuff. I'm a lot older than you may think I am. So I remember in the early 80s, the whole thing. And I remember wanting to play back then, but I just never got to it. So after I got back from my sister's comment, I did some research, watched some things, and then I heard that Jeff was doing the Dungeon Run.
So you knew Jeff before the show?
I knew of him, yes, from his video game podcast and his movie podcast.
Okay, that's what it meant. You knew of him. You knew his work before the Dungeon Run. Yeah.
So so I did some research. I bought the Player's Handbook. I started watching shows. And last fall, a group from work, we got together and we started a weekly game. And every week we played every week till the pandemic. So
that's amazing and sad.
It is sad. It was actually cool. I mean, I DM'd one game, which was really nice, and I'm going to continue to do more. But yeah, I'm waiting to get back into it.
If you had your choice, would you continue it on this, or are you happy that you're waiting?
I think I'm happy that I'm waiting. I mean, I know people enjoy the but to me, there's nothing like being in the same energy space as other people. Yeah, I miss that.
And what do you play? What do you play?
I play a wizard.
A what?
A human wizard.
Oh, a human wizard. Okay. So not a warlock, just a wizard.
Just a wizard.
Are you bald? It's a great question to know.
No, I'm not. I have my mini around here somewhere.
Oh, if you have it like in front of you, I would love to see it.
No, I don't have it. It's back there.
Well, now
what I've been doing in the meantime is I've been painting minis and working on terrain and
oh, cool.
I'm always doing something.
Do you have any of that to show? Because you're teasing right now.
I know I'm teasing.
Oh, how cool is that? Oh my gosh, I love it. So when you do come back, you're going to be set.
Yeah, we're going to be set. We're going to be set.
How cool is that? How has that changed your outlook of watching the show as a player versus just a watcher?
Well, because you kind of go in your mind about what you would do. I would let the other characters be the other characters, meaning that if somebody wants to do something, do it. I don't need to know what you're doing. I don't need to jump into a certain situation.
Yeah.
I don't need to jump into the hunger of Hadar with James. Let James do what he needs to do. Let Civ do what he needs to do. You know what I mean? That's what I would be.
I actually love that. I honest to God, and again, I shoot it straight. I really feel that the party needs someone like that. They need more of a, hey guys, it's okay, let's go.
It's okay.
Like, they need more of that.
There was a situation actually in my game where I had these magic dice, okay, and whatever I would roll, I would think of the number would be, and we needed money. So I was going to go out into the city where we were and gamble for a little bit and get some money. And they're like, oh, we want to go with you. I'm like, guys, I got this, relax. You know what I mean? It was one of those things where trust me enough to where I will go, and which I did. I almost died, but I brought back money.
Okay, did they trust you? Like, did they finally just go, okay, fine, you take care of it? Or were they, like, doubtful?
I had to sneak out at night while they were sleeping.
Oh, man, where's the trust? Where's the trust?
Exactly.
I think what I found out today is I would really like to play D&D with you. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, okay. I mean, we could set that up.
No, I just mean in general. That wasn't like a sly invite. It was just in general, you sound like someone who's really fun to play with.
Yeah, I've done some really cool things. I mean, it's fun. I mean, it's a chance to think outside the box, and well, at least if you give yourself the opportunity to think outside the box and not think of it as you, but think of it as how your character would react.
Right. That's the beauty of it, right? You get to be in your own fantasy world, literally.
Right. Don't worry about what you would do. Worry about what your character would do.
100%. 100%. Okay. Second to last question. Favorite villain?
I don't know yet. I don't know if there's a villain that has been resonated with me yet. Can I say Fahima?
Yeah. Okay, you think Fahima would be your favorite villain?
I don't know. I think the dark side's calling her. There's been a lot of foreshadowing of this.
How so?
The book that she keeps reading, the power she keeps grabbing. She means well, but it's almost like in the Lord of the Rings where Galadriel is like, if you give me this ring, I'll try to do good, but in the end, it will be horrible for everybody.
Okay. That's your theory anyway.
That's my theory, yeah.
So your theory, so when I ask you who's your favorite villain, your answer is potentially, maybe, possibly future villain.
Yes. Yeah.
Due to no one really resonates.
No one really knows. Who knows?
Interesting. Okay. Really? Okay, so now I agree with you. Not all villains resonate with me either. which is surprising because a lot of people think that if it's a villain, then I have to love it, which is not true. There are a lot of villains I do not resonate with. I just so happen to resonate with the greatest captain of mine because he's magic. You know, he has hair.
He has hair. He's not a good father, though, but he has hair.
I mean, that's debatable. Why'd you have to throw that in there? That was rude. Okay, so then I like that answer. I think it's okay that none of the villains resonate with you, and it's important to exactly. I'm assuming there's so many villains that we haven't even met yet.
Yeah. I mean, we met Ertenfurt, but I
love Ertenfurt too. But I have a feeling you're definitely more of a hero person than a villain.
Yeah, I'm definitely always been a hero. Always Jedi, never Sith. Always,
Because only a Sith deals in absolutes, right?
Yeah.
But my last question to you is just general thoughts or last messages that you want to like give to the community or to the cast or about the show. Again, this is your spotlight to say do whatever you want.
Well, I'm glad I'm a part of the community. I'm glad that everyone has embraced what I do and are enjoying everything that's been going on. I hope everybody takes advantage of the guild. There's a lot of great people on there that have a lot of good advice and a lot of support. And I'm going to continue watching and listening and reading the show.
I really, really appreciate you taking the time.
Oh,
I think
of course.
You're awesome. And I personally appreciate, and I know the community appreciates you being here. You are a shining star, and it's awesome. So now with that being said, for those of you, see you tomorrow in the live chat, see you on the podcast, see you on Friday.
Yep.
Until then, humankind.
Humankind, be bold.